Welcome back. Well, it's still a little weird for all of us. It's April. We haven't been able to go to the Bison to cheer them on. Got to give a little horns up, though. So I'm sure no one is feeling just more sort of sad about the whole thing than our next guest. Join us on the 702 Communications line. 702 Communications, keeping you connected. The one and only athletic director at NDSU, Matt Larson. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. Talking about staying connected, I got to imagine it's been really challenging for you not to have the same connection to Bison Nation. So what are you doing to reach out and stay connected to Bison Nation?
Well, Chris, thanks for having me on. And it's definitely been a challenge. I mean, we live in a people business, and whether that's engaging daily with our student athletes or our fan base and coaches and staff. So we've had to be a little creative. And first of all, a lot of credit goes out to our marketing team, Allison Vandersteen, Troy Gergen, and those folks in terms of just really engaging Bison Nation as much as they can via social media. And I think obviously we all understand that there's the greater good at place here, but if we can add a little bit of good feelings and good memories by engaging with great moments in Bison athletics or messages from our head coaches or our student athletes, I think that's a great way. And then I think our coaches have just done a great job of engaging with our student athletes, whether they're at home or here in town, and whether it's via Zoom calls or Skype or whatever it may be. And so definitely a challenge, but we're faced all the time with challenges you have to persevere through. And so just been really proud of the way everybody's handled the situation, and hopefully we'll get through it as soon as possible.
Thank goodness you're dealing with a generation that's great at the Madden video games, because maybe now you can set up like Zoom and do, okay, I need the wide receiver out here. All right, center, I need here. And you guys can start running some plays via Zoom and having some, take us inside those conversations with your coaches and the athletes, and how are you dealing with this whole situation? What are you saying to them?
Well, I think the biggest challenge for us is trying to get as much structure and normalcy back for our student athletes as possible. And, the first step was being able to start classes online again 2 weeks ago. And so that's kind of that first step into normalcy. But our coaches have done a really good job of trying to engage them at a number of different levels, whether that is through Zoom calls or one-on-one phone conversations. We've had between full team meetings to positional group meetings and film sessions and all those things to keep the learning and the growth going as much as possible. And a huge shout out to our strength staff, Jason Miller and Jim Kramer. They were really early on with getting information and workouts out to all of our student athletes, again, wherever they may be and whatever they may have available. Some of our student athletes have a full weight room at their house, and some don't have anything. So, body weight exercises and things like that. So when we do get back and resume normal activity, we hopefully hit the ground running and don't miss a beat. And so just been really proud of the way everybody's handled the situation and continue to move everything forward.
Matt, it's funny, we had an assistant hoops coach on recently, and you know this, you're a student of the game, that when you're an athlete, sometimes you think, oh, the physical part, but now it seems like a really great opportunity to say, hey, this is why watching film is so important to train that muscle as well. I got to ask you this, I got to presume this is a pretty stressful time for you. As you look out onto the horizon and, there's so much uncertainty, what keeps you up at night right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing that keeps you up at night is I think more the unknown. We're such a schedule-driven business, and not knowing when the date is when we're going to resume activity. And so, unfortunately for our spring student athletes, they lost their season. We're just hopeful that doesn't carry over now into the fall. And then have any sort of either abbreviated or canceled seasons for our fall student athletes. And so that's probably the thing that keeps us awake at night, thinking about through all the potential contingency plans of what if we do have a late start and abbreviated schedule and what that might look like. And, right now our full intentions are we're going to play every game in the fall season for all of our sports. And but certainly preparing in case that isn't the case. But those are the things that probably are keeping us up at night and more concerned, and because it just impacts so many, from our student athletes, our coaches, our fan base, and certainly the business community here in Fargo. And so if we can get back to some normal activity, I think that's great for everybody.
I'm curious, based on the information that you are getting and processing, what percentage of certainty do you have that we're going to start the football season on time?
Well, right now, I think we're still really far out. So from a timing standpoint, I think we're in good shape. I think really the next 3 to 4 weeks are going to be really critical in terms of, can we start on time? And so we're going to monitor that really closely. And a real credit to Sanford Health. We've had a lot of communications with them, and, you're trying to track the problem is, though, it's not just a North Dakota issue. It's not just a Fargo issue. This is a national issue in terms of college athletics, and there's so many states in different levels of where they are in their curve, and so we're just going to continue to monitor. But I feel really confident right now that we're going to move forward with having our fall sports kind of scheduled as is, but be prepared in case we do have to make some adjustments.
Well, you gave us some hope, my friend. Horns up. We'll connect that way for right now, virtually, Matt. We appreciate your time and your insight. We look forward to having you back. Okay.
Hey, appreciate it, Chris. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Happy
sir.
Easter, everybody.
You too. Happy Easter, my friend. All right, stick around. We got much more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.